Hello, hi, hello, welcome in. Nick Smarves, hello. Hi, Zach, welcome in. Sully, welcome in, how are you? Okay. What do I want to do? You're early for once? You are. No, you guys are always perfectly on time. Alright, I want to see if I can get some of the maps. I do have a thing up. I'm cheating just a little bit. I have a map up. Oh, my cookie. Alright. So there's one. Oh shit, really? This one here? Yeah, oh yeah, there's one here. I think it's the hydrate before we get started. Yeah, I think I've done this already. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, it's down? Oh, easy. I've already gotten this. Because I don't see anything here. It's fun. Yeah, I may have already gotten this one because there's nothing here. Okay, so this one I think we've already gotten. Alright, on to the next one. So, here. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there's two! There says that there's two on this one. Let's see. It's below. I bet it's below. I haven't beaten him yet? Why haven't I beaten him? It doesn't say defeated. Oh my god, there's one hit left on this guy? There's no way. Well, now it's defeated. Wait, is he gonna give me... Is this what I wanted? A map? Yes. You've already found the treasure? Damn. Okay. Dang. Nope, this one. Okay. Now, there's one. There's like a little tiny island off of that island. Let's go back. Let's go back. Hmm. Pretty sure I've already gotten this one. It's not here. Okay. Those ones are done. There's one here. Oh, how do you get this here? Let's see if I've been here. I'm gonna guess I've already gotten that one. There's one here I haven't gotten. And one here I haven't gotten. Because I haven't even been on these islands. How do you get on those? Here too? Holy shit. How do you get there? They're up. Okay. Okay. Can I get there from here? Hi, Ark. How are ya? Alright, where am I trying to go? Here. So this will launch me there. This will launch me here. This will launch me here. Alright, I'm gonna try this one. I don't think this will do it, but... Hi, Ark. How was your... What day is it? Thursday. How was your Thursday? I forgot what day it was for a second. You have a headache? I'm sorry. Have you taken anything? I'm not trying to sound like your mom, but take something with some caffeine. Just a little bit of caffeine. Hang out here instead to make myself feel better. I hate headaches. They're so debilitating, you know? Like, when your head hurts, like, what else are you supposed to do other than have a hurting head? Alright, so there has to be ways to make it across here, right? Ooh, okay. I'm in the... Supposed to hang out with Pink so everything feels better? Is that how it works? So then how do I feel better? Just hang out with myself. I need to steal his thing here. Ooh, they both have some. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Ooh, wait. I'm gonna be cold, but I need these berries. Come on. No! Why did you do that? Whoop. I can't believe that just happened. Got it. Okay. I got 2 fairies. That's enough. Amazing. You can't help coming out with all of us. That's true. That is true. That's one of the cool things about streaming, right? Oh, come on. Why did you all fall? That's one of the cool things about streaming, I think. Is like, when you don't feel good, you just like, go watch one of your favorite streamers. You know? You just go hang out. Alright. I'm taking cold damage here. Wow. Okay. Where do I need to go? Over here. Okay. No. The question is, can I do this without screwing it up? Probably not. Let's get these other rockets. Ark, are there any games coming out that you're excited for? I noticed the other day, I was like looking through Steam. I was like, man, there's not a lot of games coming out that I think like that I'm excited for. Maybe I just don't know of games that are coming out. I need to ask my friends what everyone's gonna play. Wait, Skull and Bones was supposed to come out soon. I wonder what happened with that. Let's look. Where's the fun in not screwing it up? Not having to fall down and do it again. Well, that's the only one. Wow. Now it just says release date 2023. That's crazy. It's supposed to come out in November. I was supposed to play it my birthday weekend. Interesting. Xbox Showcase. Better get some Fable news. We better get some Fable news. Okay. Well, now Skull and Bones doesn't have a release date, so that kind of sucks. Okay. That was really the only one that I was kind of pumped for. Void Train. Oh, I did see something about Void Train. Is that is that the MMO or is that the open world? The Forever Skies? I don't think I've seen Forever Skies. That's intriguing. Is it a survival craft? I'll have to look that one up. Looks like it? Oh, dope. I'm really excited. There's no release date for it yet, so I'm trying to, like, not get my hopes up or whatever. But I'm really excited for... I'm Nightingale, which is gonna be, an open-world survival game. But it's supposed to be, like, steampunky and, like, magic and stuff. Like, I'm really excited. Oh, nice and center there. There we go. All single player, so did Oh. Well, I mean, I still play single player. I just happened to have a companion to play them with, but I still play single player. Okay, maybe not grab that, please. Alright, now. How far do I think that'll get me? Let's try. That might not be terrible actually, because this guy will still float even if my batteries die. Why is he going away? Wait, what's that? Oh no! Wait, really? Well, that was unfortunate. Oh wow, how am I supposed to get up there? I'm not gonna make this. Are you serious right now? Stranded Alien Dawn. Rika? I don't know if that's how you say Rika, but Rika. I've been following Rika on Twitter for probably close to like a year now. I'm very excited about that. And I think I put Stranded Alien Dawn on my wish list on Steam because it came up like recommended, you know, because survival craft. If I could grab that, that'd be fantastic, but I don't think it'll happen. Grab. Nice. Okay. Now, here's the real question. Is there anywhere to climb up and ascend up? There's Diablo. A lot of my friends are playing Diablo. I know absolutely nothing about Diablo. Like, absolutely nothing. I don't even know what kind of game it is. Other than, like, an MMO. But, like, is it like a World of Warcraft MMO? Or, like, a Final Fantasy MMO? Or, like, a New World MMO? Like, I need more details. ARPG. But, like, what's the play style? Alright. Fuck. Whatever. Typically kill monsters, get loot. I am a big fan of kill monsters, get loot. I will say, kill monsters, get loot is one of my favorite types of games. See, this is the thing I was trying to build the other day. And it just did not want to cooperate with me. You mask. You mask. Are you playing Diablo? Are you planning on playing Diablo? Alright. Should I try to kill this construct real quick? They're pretty easy to kill, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be able to feel my mouth after this. I can't stop eating these sour gummy things. Playing with your wife tomorrow? Aw, I don't think I've ever heard you talk about playing games with your wife. Do you play a lot of games with her? She hasn't played much lately. I see. Oh my god, I can't get it. It won't fall down. Now recently she's been doing the Disney. Disney had a big update the other day, and I've heard it's heavy. Like I've heard it's like on the emotionally heavy side, which is kind of surprising for Disney. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of streamers I follow were like, hey, just a heads up, like if you plan on streaming this, the content's a little on the heavy side. And I was like, what is that? What could that possibly mean? But yeah, I've been seeing it all over the place. I think I need to do the good old Yet pack here. You son of a... Oh, I did not mean to do that. Hilarious. They've been going through... I agree. I agree, but apparently there were some people who were quite triggered by this one in particular. I haven't had a chance to play. Hello. I say I haven't had a chance to play, but the reality is I've been playing Zelda. Okay. So I haven't been playing. But, yeah, like, I feel like it's quite easy to kind of figure it out. Ooh. I can see how, yeah. Especially because, like, I'm sure there were quite a few people who started playing it under the impression that it's, like, a cute little Disney farming simulator. You know, not realizing that there's this whole overarching story. Ooh, I got it! Like, there are quite a few games that I don't think people realize have a bigger story, you know? Out of the way. Nice. Nice, okay. Easy peasy. Where's the stone? There it is. So I inadvertently, I guess, solved the shrine puzzle while I was here. Kill monster, get loot. My favorite. Yeah, so I guess this is a shrine puzzle. Apparently. Which is why I would guess that this pre-made flyer is here. And again, this game really loves despawning my loot. Which is great. Alright, hold on, let's do this. Get the bonus loot. Build. Okay. I am going to add a Weeble Wobble. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Because they're good for keeping yourself afloat. And then that way, I can put this on here, and it won't make everything awkward. Alright. So, where? I bet we're going there. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to feel my mouth if I keep eating these sour candies. There it is, right there. Alright. Wait, why can't I control? Woo! I can't control direction at all. This is a smidgen of a problem. Well. Oh my god. I fucking did not. Look at it go. I can't believe I hit the whistle button. Did you see that? Oh no, I can't believe I did that. I hit whistle. Goodbye forever. I hit whistle. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I hit that button. Like, what? Why? Oh no. I don't know how I'm gonna get back. Maybe I'll just respawn below. Let's see. Where? It has no line. It doesn't know where to go. Alright, let's look at this, rest of this island here. In the meantime, I guess. Oop. Oopsies. Alright, so where do all these go to? Pinecone? Okay. I can pinecone. I'm in the lead forever. Oh, whoa. Frame blade. What happens if I do that? Nothing. It's still going. Back. Why? Okay, I don't know. I don't know who that person is. Oof. I ate too many strawberry things, or sour things. As I continue to eat more. Okay. Is this where I am? It is. Look. So there is one on this island. Okay, over here. Let's do this first. Don't get distracted. I get distracted too easily. I should probably order something actually to eat. It goes so slow because of the gravity. Okay. Nice. Need to finish Breath of the Wild. Ark, do it. It's so good. This one's only better. You can finish Breath of the Wild so fast. Just go beat Ganon with a pot lid and a spoon. Like all the speedrunners do. Why is it all misty over here? I see no treasure, you liars. Finish Windblight? Very nice. Not in a bad way, but I do feel like the blights were harder than a lot of these bosses. Oh, 2 down? Nice. What was your first one? A lot of people do, water blight. Yeah. A lot of people do water first. Alright, so this is supposed to be where? Oh, is it the one that's hanging? Uh-huh. Can you get over there? Whoop. Nice. Wind was much easier than the water one? Yeah, maybe. Oh, no, no, no! You son of a bitch. I can't see. Can I get it? Can I get it? Yes. I can't believe that I could reach that. Tulin. I can't believe that. It was almost gone forever because of my little companion. Ooh, okay. I haven't gotten that one. Let's go. Alright, what's next? So I have to ascend back up because I need to go to the other 2 that I marked. What do I want to eat? I really don't have a ton of money to spend, so I gotta get something cheap. Maybe I'll get McDonald's. McDognall. McDognall. Because Broseph had a Big Mac the other night, and I was like, oh, Big Mac. I also love Big Macs in general, though. Working Gerudo. Back in, like, N64 days, the Gerudo, like, Gerudo Valley was my favorite area. I loved the music. I loved, like, the Gerudo. Like, I just thought they were so, like, mysterious and, like, badass. So I, like, almost immediately go Gerudo almost every time. But Breath of the Wild really kind of, they didn't push you to do anything. Push isn't the right word. But they definitely insinuated, like, to start with water. It's, like, hard to, like... There we go. It's hard to control where you're yeeting. When it's the low grav. Phalanx in chat. Oh, okay. You know, boo. That's fine, I guess. Okay. How do I progress from here? Alright, so has it given me the thing back yet? The stone? Can I go down and get the stone yet? Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do if the stone is literally all the way down? I will cry, and then scream, and then cry. Okay, good, it's back. Okay, good, it's back. Ooh, and so is the floaty thingy, amazing. Okay. Gib, all your base are belong to us. What is that from? What is that from? Like, somebody said that the other day, and I was like, oh yeah. But now I'm forgetting where it's actually from. It was a bad translation of a game? Yeah, but which one? I can't remember. Zero. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, go forward. No, go forward. Ooh. Okay, hold on. This is... Oh, it's fine. Oh my god, that's amazing. Did you see that? It literally... I have to clip that. It fell and ricocheted into the spot where it's supposed to be. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Ark. That's so crazy that that just fell into place there. And it's a blessing. Amazing. Are you something good? Please be something good. Please be something good. Okay, that's pretty good. A diamond's pretty good. That's what happens when you're pro. That's what happens when you got really, really lucky. I could not replicate that if I had tried. You're just luckier than everyone else, you know? It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? It feels like that sometimes. Like, I see some, not even streamers, but just some, like, top, like, players, and I'm just like, that's such a lucky shot. Okay, now, I have to go to the red and to the light blue. I have a feeling the red might be easier. Oh, is it just across? It's just over there. Can I make that? Guess we'll see. Okay, I think I will make that. I think I will make that. If it stays no gravity. Amazing. What's that below with the hole? What is, like, on fire? Ooh, that's 2 I haven't gotten. What is going on? Oh. I see. What's this? Oh no, but there's a Korok on this one. Then what? Then what? Yeah, because I'm not gonna stream. Not gonna stream for a long time. And honestly, let me just say that, like, spite and stuff is a heck of a motivator. But yeah, no, I'm very, very tired, so I'm hoping to stream early, which will make me more tired, and then I'll go to bed early. Hi, Wolfie. Welcome in. I have to order something to eat, though, before it gets too late, and I just don't know what I want. Ooh. Ooh, Endura shrooms? That's huge, actually. Really bad always sounds good, but never actually happens. I need to not stay up so late every single night. Like, it's okay, like, a couple nights, whatever. But it's every single night, and I'm like, why? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? At the pool, and I have to lurk in a bit while I drive home. No problem. No problem. How was the pool? Because games are fun, I know. It's not even just games. Like, I'm in the process, spoiler alert, I'm in the process of redoing the raid trailer and also, like, my channel trailer, because my channel trailer is, you know, almost 3 years old. But, you know, there is some people in old videos and stuff that we're moving on, so it's just nice to have new clips to choose from. But that's what I've been working on, so that's why I've been staying up late. Alright, I think I am gonna get a Big Mac. I think I'm gonna be a Big Mac. Okay. Blue. How far? Is it this, though? Like, where is this blue? See, I don't know. I don't know where this blue island I'm supposed to be heading towards is. So it's hard to gauge. Like, it's hard to gauge, like, what I'm gonna need to get there. Because I don't know how far away it is. Like, I can't even see it. It's gotta be up. Okay, it's in front of the ball. And up. There. Dang. Dang. Okay, so I wonder. It is technically still here. Alright. I have to think. How do we get up there? I need to get up and over at the same time. So one, this. I feel like maybe like this. This. I genuinely don't know if this will work. Did I angle this one? Oof, I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm gonna do a couple of these. I think if I do like that, and then you should do more videos. Ooh, you should. I saw your comment. Well, I saw your post about your YouTube video, but also you're right. Like doing how-to videos or like tips and tricks or like walkthrough videos takes so much. They take so much out of you. Okay. Wait, I just need... I'm wondering if I should try... a balloon? Like, should I even go... The balloon might give me a little bit more height before this stuff starts to go. Alright, I'm just gonna try it. Let's see. Where there's no harm, right? I need to, like, make... Like, I need to make more outside content. Not, like, continue to recycle content that I've already got, which, like, is fine. But I need to, like, make outside content, and it's just the thought of it, not even, like, the act of it, but just the thought of doing it is so overwhelming. Can I avoid them for a while, or do them opportunistically? A Subnautica review? Ooh. Subnautica's such a good game. But, yeah, I keep thinking about that. Like, I'm one of those people where it's like, I want so badly to do well in, like, content creation and stuff. But I just don't have the time, or the energy, or the materials to do all of these things that you, like, have to do. And then it makes me feel defeated. Alright. No idea how this is gonna go. Oh, this actually might work. Okay, go this way. There we go. Wait, was I not heading towards that thing, like, at all? I feel like I'm just going up. Oh, I'm gonna run out, and then I'm gonna have to go like this. Glide, no. No, glide, no. Glide, no. Glide. My problem is scripting them. I've gotten reasonably good with the video editing, but yeah, that's what the problem is. Is like, if I were to do a Let's Play or something, I feel like it wouldn't be very much different than just a live stream of mine. You know? Oof. Oof. All hail the egg. Hello, Chris. Did you get gas and pick up the kid? No problem, Ark. Thank you for hanging. Go up. Come on. Go up, please. Go up. Please, I beg you, please. Oh my gosh. The one no one understands. Oh my god, why did I struggle saying that so bad? The one no one understands, yes. Shit. Look, there's my glider, just gliding away. Maybe we can make it here. The no one. Oh, I felt like the Stanley Parable right now. This is the end, and 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 this is the end. Because I got stuck. I got stuck in the loop for a second. I got stuck. Some of the best game experiences ever. Wait, did you play it, or did you just watch me? And didn't you say Jess played it? Ren! Oh my goodness. Hi, Bean. How are you? How was your stream? What'd you play? Oh, of course you played some DVD. I didn't need to ask. How was your stream? Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for the raid. If you guys don't know who I am, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Krista, or Pinksel. Most people just call me Pink. I am a variety streamer. I play pretty much everything, ranging from things like Lego games, Nintendo games, simulators, shooters, survival games, and everything in between. And I also happen to be a member of Team Dragon Squad with the wonderful Ren, who I adore so much. I have a very quick video that I like to show whenever we get a raid, just to see if maybe this is someplace that you might want to hang out, get to know us, spend some time, just kind of like see what we're about. -1 crash after the first 60 minutes. My stream is crashing a lot, so I think it's time to invest in switching to OBS. Ren, do it. Do it. Switch to OBS. Your streams and your computer and everything will thank you, I'm telling you. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy this very quick video, and I will see you in just a moment. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions?
We were like 2 seconds away from the bike song.
I wanna ride my bike!
Hey, look, Nate. It's Uranus. I am Cat. I can help you. Look at that donk. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the butts. And then they show up and we talk about booty.
I wanna be forever.
How? How are her boobs not falling out?
First you're like, yeah, then you're like, yeah.
You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. He's totally dead. He's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. I really messed up, didn't I? I made bad choices. Coming! What if you just, like, collected a bunch of farts? Are you pooping? Bees! Go, bees! Yes. I want to die right now. I'm gonna go drown. Yeah! Solid! Nobody's looking at my pee-pee. So cute. Perceive my booty, arg. I'm a big girl. I do Mordors. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream. I shoot them my gun. Antidepressant. Is it working?
I want to be haunted by Marcia.
Oh. I'm trying to make the poop.
All right, where's Davy Jones?
Oh my gosh, my monitor.
What
Nate,
I had said.
Why? Why are you like this? I couldn't make this up if I tried. That won't and can't go wrong. Oh, you can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time.
Here's another thing.
Bye. Ren, thank you so much for the raid. And just like Kevin Lee said, I promise it will get easier over time. Everything you can do in Streamlabs, you can do in OBS, and it just won't be as hard on your PC. It won't be as stressful on your CPU. Just open it up one night, just open it up and just like click through it and just play through everything and just see what everything does. I promise you'll be able to figure it. If you can learn you can do DaVinci, you can learn OBS. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. The next time you raid me, I'm gonna ask if you're an OBS. And it better be an OB. Yes, I am pink. That was really bad. I don't care that was a really bad joke. You better remember that joke, and you better say it back to me. You won't have Streamlabs music anymore? You can use Pretzel. You can use... There's so many other alternatives to having stream approved music. I mean, you might be able to do... what about the, I'm drawing... Sorry, my lip gloss is, like, not even. What's the radio that's approved by Twitch? Is it literally called Twitch Radio? To make my DVD streams better? Yeah, because you guys have a lot of queue time, don't you, in DVD? Pretzel, what's that? So Pretzel is... I'm actually... I happen to be sponsored, but, like, there's a free version as well as a paid version, so like you don't even have to use my sponsorship stuff. But it's a database of completely copyright free music. And it's like specifically made for streamers. It's Pretzel Rocks. And there's like a web browser version, but then there's also a like an actual like app that you can put on your PC or whatever. Yeah, it's like they've got everything. They have like lo-fi, they've got chill hop, they've got like chip tune, which is like video game music. Like they've got everything on there. Insert eye emoji here. Yeah. Like you can use the free version though. I use the free version. Bookmarked? Yeah, you got it. But yeah, Pretzel's out there too, you know. There's lots of different stuff. There's lots of options out there. Okay. I am all over the place trying to get treasure maps right now. So it probably looks like I'm a crazy person. Which I am a crazy person. I bet you there's a boss here. Oh my god, is there a Gleeok there? Is there a Gleeok there? Is there a boss there to fight? I want to fight it. What is it? Tell me what it is. I bet you there's a boss there. I would bet anything there's a boss right there. House Tears, it's so good. I'm honestly to the point where, like, there's not a ton left for me to do main story-wise. So I have just a lot of side questing. So I have to side quest, I have to finish the Koroks, I have to finish the shrines, I have to finish the underground. So, like, I have a lot of just, like, stuff to do. while I'm avoiding finishing the game. Because I don't want the game to be over. I'm loving it so much and I'm having so much fun. And I've waited so long for it. Build a big murder robot that literally takes like all of my battery in 1 second. We can do that. We'll do that after I finish this quest. I don't want this game to end ever. Here, I'll do it now. I'll do it now for you, Chris. Let's go here. Let's go like here. Just get food to get battery. I was trying to convince my partner to go halfsies with me for our anniversary. It came out on oh, really? I'm gonna guess you didn't get it. My lip gloss is like not working for me right now. It is like super goopy. I'm just gonna go with the good old Burt's Bees. I'm not feeling the goop. Alright, so the question is though, if I build a murder robot, like it has to murder something. No, I know, I'm trying to. But I have to find something for it to murder. In order for it to be murder robot. Like, I could just build one here, but it's not gonna do anything. If we finish Breath of the Wild, he refuses out of principle to buy a $70 game, even though I'd say I'd pay the $40. Yeah. Oh, wait, Ren. I might have a... I mean, it's more money, but in the long run, it's not more money. But you might be able to convince him because there's the, what are they called? Voucher. There's the Nintendo voucher. So it's $100 for 2 games. And you don't need to buy both games at the same time. So you pay the $100 and you get 2 game tickets. And then you can get like a $70 game. And then like, if like there's nothing that you want and like something's coming out later, you can like save your second voucher and get like another $70 game. Or you can get 2 $70 games now. Yeah, Nintendo voucher. Yeah, it's $99. It's $99 and it's 2 vouchers. It's 2 games. So I got I got Tears of the Kingdom, and then I just have a second voucher just chilling, like waiting for a game that I want. Unless like I might end up getting Mario Party so I can play like with the community and stuff. It must murder everything. I'm looking for things. Oh, hold on. I think this might be a bandit camp over here. Buy a voucher and get 2 copies of something that's $15. No. Are there any Nintendo games that are $15? Do they even exist? Alright, so this is a bandit camp. Okay. Okay. Let's think about this for a second. It probably needs to fly. With how little... That's what I'm saying. Like, two Nintendo games. I believe... Don't count me on this, but I believe it's good for a year. I believe. Or 2 years. But it's definitely either a year or possibly 2 years. But I think it's a year. I think it's a year. So, like, if it's getting ready to expire, you know... That will suck, but... Okay, we are building a death machine for Chris. Okay. Let's do... a couple of these guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Okay, holy shit, this is gonna be... Where do you get the voucher? You just get it on Nintendo. Like, Nintendo.com. I'm telling you. It's a game changer. Like, literally and metaphorically. Five might be a little wide. Just saying. 5 might not be the best. This is gonna go through my batteries so fast that there's not even gonna be a point to this. But that's a good deal to— yeah, it is only digital, which is like kind of a downside to it, but the price I think is so worth that it's fine. Okay, let's do 2 of those. 1 of those. And okay. Chris, this is like, I don't think you understand how fast this is gonna fly through my batteries. Oh my god, and it's blood moon? Is the blood moon gonna reset my shit? It better not. And a game called Hentai Girls for $2. Chris, you can do that then. Hentai Girls for $2. Get out. Get out. For everything except Nintendo products, how long their list is the same price, but that would be great. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there are some things that I'm like, it's just worth to get digital because of the price difference. And that's one of them, where it's like, it's just, for that voucher, that $100 voucher, to get 2 $60, $70 games for, yeah. Even if they're $60, even if they're not 2 $70 games, and they're still 2 $60 games, that's still cheaper. Like, it's still cheaper at the end of the day. Alright, I don't know what else to put on this because this is absolutely absurd already. Fear not, I'm here to be problematic. Make it fly. Okay. Oh, shit, okay. I have no idea. Oh, it won't let me take wings out right now. Watch how fast it's gonna go through these batteries. Yaga, hello. Please don't be problematic. I have enough problems as it is. I don't need any more addicts. I don't need any more attics. I can't attach anymore. I can't even put any more. Undo this wasting of parts. This is not a waste of parts. What just broke? There's a 21 item limit. Oh my gosh. Alright, fine. It's gonna have to be Maybe not. Maybe we can do it? Okay. Alright. Where's this camp? Here it is. Oh my god, I won't connect anymore. Alright, whatever. It's gonna be two sets of murder. Alright, here's one set of murder. What are these little minions? I haven't seen much. I don't know if my partner can do it. Own a house of one? Yeah, you can. You can own a house in both, actually. I haven't gotten the house in this one yet. So, these are Zonai devices, and you can build now. But you live in an attic. Don't tell people that. Should do these. I have to restart my computer. Okay, Chris. Woo, not me. I'm in love. I think I need to move them. They're not like... They're hard focusing on... Oh, look at this guy. He's struggling. Oh, he's struggling. Hold on, let me help. Let me help. I'm almost out of battery. Oh, I'm out of battery. Hold on, it'll recharge. It'll recharge, hold on. Okay. What are you doing, dudes? Turn around. We have anemones over here. I'm about to get zapped. With what? What am I gonna get zapped by? My bow? Yeah. Does not make the switch explode because it's amazing. Come back to see explosions and Chris happy? Yes. Murder bot for Chris. He specifically requested a murder bot and I do not disappoint my fans. Ooh, he's about to be zapped though. It's stupid at this point, honestly. It's like unfair and stupid at this point. Ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Oh. Too funny. Too funny. Are they coming back? Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. No. are you stuck? What are you stuck on? This is ridiculous. Is this enough to convince you to get the game, Chris? Amazing. He's so bad. This is all I'd want to do, but I wouldn't want to work to get this far. So technically you can get there whenever. It's just building pieces. But yeah, the batteries is what would kill you. I have something to show Chris because I want to hear his reaction. Wait, can I do it too? Can I do it too? Is a video? Oh my gosh. Nobody ever wants to do video for me. He can react here if he wants, lol. No! That thing broke. No context, just reaction. Amazing. I would honestly expect no less. I need to order food, guys. I don't know what I want. Hit me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a Big Mac. I think I said that like 25 years ago as well. A Philly cheesesteak. I had one actually this week. I had one from Charlie's Cheesesteaks. And it was delicious.
Oh.
Save, thanks. Sure. Thanks. Want another? Sure, thanks. I didn't ask for more, but sure. Ugh. Alright, I need to order food. Yeah, but it's not that Charlie's, which is funny. It's actually just Charlie's Cheesesteaks. Okay, is that satisfactory, Chris? Is that good for you? Hi, Aya! How are you? Welcome in. Alright, what? Look at all that. Look at all that. Look at all that! I'm satisfied? Good. Look at, that's so funny. Okay, let's go get these. Let's go get this. Like, why don't I have this one? Is that a dragon? It automatically fills in your channel. Oh my gosh. When people tell me that, it's like one of those things that's like, it's so cheesy that I'm just like, my heart. My heart. That's awesome. Aya, how are you? I'm excited for us to play Stardew with Terry when you guys start streaming again. I don't know why I'm wasting durability on my stuff. Good day? That's good. I'm having an okay day. Thursdays are just like... Thursdays are the day that I wish my boss would realize that, like, he doesn't need me to be here. And that I could do 4 10-hour workdays because I don't need to be there on Thursdays. but he won't go for that. There are 2 channels that pop up when I start to type. Same 2. On channels I watch for more than a few minutes. Yours and H211's. That's so funny. Plays them with Streamlabs. I'd like to do it. Now I need to change from that. Yeah, no. We don't like. We are not a Streamlabs family here. Hebra Dark Skeleton. What is this? Is this a dragon skeleton? Because this is bigger. This is bigger than the Leviathan skeletons that were above. Look at it. What is this? Honestly, it crashed all the time. Yeah. Okay, so listen. So my story with Streamlabs. People are always like, it works fine for me. I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. But here's the thing about Streamlabs. I started streaming and I used Streamlabs because I knew nothing and it was the easiest one to figure out, whatever. And that's fine. It's fine. It is the easiest one to learn. It's the easiest one to figure out. But I had it crashed all the time. It lagged all the time. It made it so like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't have any other browsers or open. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't play a game on the PC and stream at the same time. I had a shit PC at the time. That's whatever. That's fine. I streamed from capture card most of the time. But the tipping point for me was one time it crashed and I restarted the PC and I reloaded the PC, and when I reloaded Streamlabs, everything was gone. My overlays, my alert boxes that I had built in like their little alert box thing, like everything was gone. Everything was gone. I had to rebuild all my scenes, all my overlays. I had to rebuild everything. So it sucked, but I rebuilt, whatever. And then fast forward like maybe like another 2 months or whatever, and I got like a raid, and it was one of the raids where like everybody like spammed emotes and stuff, and the emote wall made everything lag out so hard that Streamlabs crashed again. So I reloaded, restarted the PC, did all that stuff or whatever, and opened Streamlabs a second time to have nothing in there. So after I got all my shit fucking wiped twice, I was done with Streamlabs. You couldn't pay me enough money to use Streamlabs. And then all the other stuff came out and I was like, ah, okay. Yeah. Let's not. I saw a light route somewhere. I saw a light route. Where the heck was it? Hype trains crashed my stream every time. It's like, how can it be profitable if I can't stream, right? If you're not, I'm here. Astro, I'm so glad you were here. Astro, have you found this? This is crazy. Ah! I'm so confused though, where the light, like... Where's the light route that I was just, like, heading towards? Posture check. What's wrong with my goblin posture? I lost track of the light route I was going to. That's frustrating. I lost track of the light route. Because I saw this dragon skeleton and I was like, oh look. Dragon. It's very long. Wait, what? Yeah, it starts... Yeah, it's like over here, right? So it's gonna be 2... this side. Is it up? How'd I lose this frickin' light rope? Frickin' bats! Frickin' bats! I don't know where it went. Found it! It's right there. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm okay, I'm a little crazy. Oh, I have to get over there. No, we're taking a detour. We're going over there. We're getting all of those poes. Those poes and hoes over there. I need to order food! Stop getting distracted, please. I'm getting a Big Mac, but I need to actually order it. And I cannot actually order it if I keep forgetting. Oh my god, it scared the shit out of me. It's just Colgera, okay. Oh my gosh. I got so skirked for a second. I got so skirked for a second, but it's just Colgera. Colgera is like one of the easiest, stupid easiest bosses that's in this game. Like, it's almost... it's actually almost embarrassing how easy this boss is, to the point where it's like, why? Why is this the mechanic? What's burning? Is my bow burning? Yeah, it is. Hold on. Okay. No, turn... Hello? Why did you turn... There we go. Chris has watched the video? Okay. So now we're gonna get a completely out of context Chris reaction. Sure. I mean, guess like a generalized. Okay, I need all these bows. Zonite. Stop eating it. Why? Oh my gosh. Why? Why? Why are you like this? Last year, Bruno still did a collab with The Weeknd on a maze, and it's so bad. Like, wait, what do you mean collab? Like, he helped make the maze? Like, design the maze? Or he was, like, in the maze? Like, what does this mean? Oh, hello. He is the maze. It's his vision. I hate it already. I hate it already. The dude dancing with a giant frog was pretty scary. Wow. If it scared Chris, you know it's really scary. Let's go fight this dumb boss over here that's like an embarrassment to bosses everywhere. There's a guy. It was The Weeknd, but not The Weeknd. Oh, I've already defeated him. Let's see. I don't even need to do this shit, but I'm gonna, because it's so stupid. Okay, I need wings, apparently. He also didn't like the mannequin with the tiggle bitties. It was so stupid. No way I missed that. Interesting, guys. Interesting. Honestly, the kind of stuff you watch, I'm not surprised. Both of you guys. A Zelda dragon mixed with a Koopa? Why not? I don't watch this stuff. I've worked there for 5 years. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Lol. This guy is so easy, it's stupid. Colgate toothpaste? Colgara? Yeah. It's like a fancy Colgate toothpaste. Colgara. Where did it go? Where's it there? Can I do this? Do I have enough time? Break. Break his little belly. Oh my god, come on, don't move! Break! Okay. Shit. Whew. Easy peasy, look at that one. Where'd he go? Oh, he's trying to run. Don't let him run. Oh my god. Move your leg. Move your leg. I'm gonna kill you while you're running away like a bitch. Let's go. That guy's, that boss is so easy. It's like, that boss is so easy. It's so ridiculous. That fight is so fun. It's fun because it's like all flying slow-mo arrow fight, which are so fun. But he's so easy. Like, I don't know if I want it to be harder, but it's so easy. That fight is just so easy. Sidon, where is he? Here he is. Look at him. Look at him. He's got like a long torso and little legs. I don't want it to be harder. I probably don't. They all weren't terrible though, honestly. Oh, Astro, did you see that I have the full depths emo outfit now? Good job. What? Yeah. I know it's not. Like, I know it's not, but it sounds so condescending. Like, my dad just went like, good job. Like, it doesn't care, good job. Like, I sent you that video of me killing the Lionel in, like, 40 seconds, and you were like, good job. I was like, I was so proud. I was so proud. My King Gleok fight? Come on. I am proud. No, I know. As I said, like, I know that it's not. I know it's not condescending, but it just feels condescending because they're just like, good job. What's like after this? Like, what's after the depths outfit? Should I add a smiley face? No, you should add like a little, like an exclamation point. Like, good job. Instead, you're just like, good job. But yes, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. See, it's perfect. It makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. It shows excitement. I'm never gonna make it over here. Wait, what is this boss? Oh yeah? Yeah. Oh, this is Colgera, okay. What's your source? Oh, I didn't do it yet, Astro. Shit. I made it the fuck up. I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet, I'm sorry.
Hello, darkness,
I know, I'm sorry. I know, I'm sorry. Astro. I need to order food, chat. I keep getting so distracted. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Okay, stop it. Stop it right now. Whew. The depths never end. At least I feel like they never end. Does anybody else feel like that? Just plus a witch. Astrid. That's so mean. You know it is Yaga. The witch. It is Yaga the witch. She will put you under her spell. And she'll go, ah, ha, 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 ha. But that's just the way she laughs. Yeah, well, you never know. True. Oh, my neck. My neck. My back. My ankle needs to crack. My neck. My back. My ankle needs to crack. What? Where am I supposed to go? My mom is so heated because she's watching a documentary on Queen Victoria and she yells, "Have you played Assassin's Creed Syndicate? They're using scenes of London from the game. They couldn't use real pictures." Oh my god. I need everyone to log out of Diablo. I've been in queue for an hour. Lol. Yeah, it's probably Astro. Astro steals your dolphins and your Diablos. Your Diolphins. Guys, never forget the time that Astro stole the dolphin from us. Play Diablo with us? Guys, like... Okay, tell me about Diablo and why I would like it. Because, like, 4 people have told me today to play it, and I'm like, dude, do I look like a Diablo kind of player? Do I look like a Diablo bitch? Because we said so? That's expensive though, isn't it? 37 messages? You fuckers. I have to read all that too, because I can't just scroll past like Chris does. I have to read it all. Both reasons, neither good. I know, both of those reasons are not convincing at all. Both of those reasons are actually kind of shellfish, if you ask me. I know no one ever asks me how I feel, but you know. I'm feeling a little used right now with this Diablo situation. It's all him and I talking about the maze, I know. I know. I just thought it was funny that I look over and I'm like, holy shit. 37. We're close. Let's be close. Large Poe. I know, and then there's a Grand Poe, like a Grand Poe. Grandpapa. Grand Popa. You know all the Poes? I don't want to spend a single one. Really? I feel like the Poes respawn relatively frequently. Like, every time I'm down here, there's Poes. Poes and hoes, Poes and hoes. I need to order my fucking food. Oh my god, so I live in Tennessee, right? Okay? I live in Tennessee. We all know that I'm a Northeast girl and I live in Tennessee. So, I just want to let you know that when you order DoorDash, it comes up with, like, the number one most ordered thing in your area, right? The number one most ordered thing is a Big Mac, large Big Mac, with a Southern-style sweet tea. I'm crying. Like, of fucking course, the number one thing that McDonald's fucking sells is a Big Mac and sweet tea combo. The fuck? Of fucking course it is. Fucking of course it is. I have checked when I was in Nowhere, Kansas. They were out of Coke. Who runs out of Coke? Losers. Losers run out of Coke. Yeah. But also, was it a situation where it was actually Coke, like the brand, or Coke, like how some people say, I'll take a Coke, but like you actually just mean like a soda? I found it. Okay, let's do this. Beans? How? I went to Mexican and they were out of beans. Yeah, like like I've been to KFC when they had no C. They had no fucking chicken. Like I've been there, I know. Okay. Let's do it. Ordered. Ordered. I really shouldn't have spent the money, but it's okay. I get paid next week. I got a shower, thanks for bullying me into it. Yeah, go shower, Stimky. Stimky. Stimky and the brain. Stimky and the brain. Wait, did I get both of them already? Oh no, I didn't. It's way over here. Wait, how come? Oh, that's the Gleoc Den. It's so scary there. Coca-Cola brand. Gotcha. Alright, let's... Wait, there's one in here? Wait, what's in the floating coliseum? I don't remember what's in the floating coliseum. But there's something in there. Wait, isn't that the Lionel? The Lionel Rush? That looks dangerous. I know. I feel like I'm about to go make some really, really, really bad decisions right now. Let's go get this one first. Let's go get this one first. Alright, hold on. Is there anything up here? There's gonna be another skeleton over here. Okay, let's go there. My my food has been ordered, so I did the thing. I did the thing. I did the thing. Okay. Oh, good. I was like, oh, shoot, did I forget to change my stuff? But I didn't. Okay. Alright, so let's mark this with a red. And we have to go this way, so we can't go through the lava, obviously. Oh, can we? I think we can make that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Alright, and then we start our trek. What do we think this- wait, what did I get last time? The cap of... the wild? Yeah. Travel through the wild lands. Because that's time. That's Twilight. That's Wind Waker. And then there's the sky, right? Hmm. Who's the... what's the wild? I mean, it's not Breath of the Wild, so... Because that's the Champion's Tunic. I'm confused, then. Wolfie with a dog fact. Let's see. Dogs have lived with humans for over 14,000 years. Cats have lived with people. Only 7,000. Breath of the Wild has especially of the wild set. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what version of Link, or, like, what game that's supposed to be. Like, it looks old. Like, it's gotta be old. I don't know. I don't know. Is the Skyward Sword set in this? Oh my gosh, them appearing and disappearing and reappearing is so obnoxious right now. It's so obnoxious, oh my god. Just stop while I'm climbing, obviously. They're ridiculous. Oh god. Is of the sky. That's what I thought. Okay. But is it in here? Is that set in here? Because that means there's going to be a lot of sets of armor in this game. Pretty sure it's the OG. That's what I thought. I was like, it looks old. Tunic of the Hero, I mean. Legend is this armor was cherished by hero. Ancient times. It's not a simple. Okay, yeah. See, simple is traditional. Travels the wild lands. Wearing it just feels right. Yeah, it looks old. It looks very old. So the Tunic of the Sky is in here somewhere. I need the Fierce Deity chest. And then I need the last of this. I need a lot of stuff. Of the Wild set is also dyeable. Yeah, they all are, I think. Or I think some of them are. Go that way. It's too hot. I can't put this on. Shit. Using the Twilight set, really? I love the Twilight set. I don't have the full thing, though. But I love that his hair changes. Like, it's one of my favorite details. Is that they actually, like, give him the different hair for each one. Like, I love that detail. It's such a small detail, but I love it. Okay. We're just gonna keep trekking along here, I guess. What's that? Oh, those are a lot of pose. Oh, it's a whole bunch of those things. Okay. We're here, though. We're here, though. Oh, there's a thing over there. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. How is this? Oh, this is the skeleton? Alright, I need to go. I think I need to go light that root because I can't see anything. Like, all I see is just the fire burning. Running through, it's fine, I don't even care. Ooh. I can't see anything. I think this whole thing is the skeleton, actually. Like, I think all of these things, these pillars that I can't see through, I think it's the skeleton itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Okay. Yeah. God. I've, like, lit so much down here that I've actually forgotten how pitch black it can get down here.
Yeah.
Because I've lit so much of it down here. No, 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 you're fine. My foot has really been bothering me lately. And I think I might, like, actually have to go get it checked out. Like, I think it's getting to the point where I think I have to get it checked out. Stop putting it off and go do it. Okay, cool. So it should be all illuminated over here now. I should be able to see where the treasure chest is. Alright, do we want to take... We want to take unofficial bets as to what, what's gonna be in this chest here? Call Astro, do a house call? No, because I would like for him to stay my friend. Charges? No, it's marked. It's a marked chest. I don't think it'll be charges in a marked chest. That would be so disappointing. 100? I really hope not. Charges, I'm gonna be upset. Trousers of the Wild. They're little short shorts. They're little short shorts. I still have the middle piece of this, though. I think of the hero. Yeah, I have lots of stuff missing. I have lots of pieces missing, apparently. Okay, I don't need to be here anymore. Oh yeah, that one was hard to get to. Esther, did your thing come today? What is in here? Bet it's Lionel's. I bet this is fucking Majora's Mask. I bet this is Majora's Mask and this is the Lionel's. Comes on Saturday, apparently. Alright, I need more Sky Island treasure chests then. We need to do something about it. Apparently there's a bunch. I haven't been here at all. Oh. Too many sour candies. Let's do actual friend. Oh, both is up. Wow. Diablo. Well, you'll never finish. You'll never finish this way. Okay, so says there's a bunch here. So there's one here, which I'm gonna guess I've gotten. And then it says there's one here. It says there's two. See, I don't think I've gotten this one. I think I have to go here. Yeah, let's go here. Now you're ahead? I'm not ahead. There's no such thing as ahead. It's an open world game, after all. Not that will not me. You know it is the truth. Know in your heart to be true. Oh, you know what I should have done? Alright, we're gonna put a pin in this. We need to go down and we need to trade in our shit. Trade in all our shit. I saw the sign. And I want some hungies. I'm so hungry and without you. Oh, 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 oh. I know none of that makes sense, but piss off. Yes. Oh. Oh my god. Wait. Oh yeah, okay. I only have 9 zonite. Large zonite. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's gonna be large, I don't have. Need some zonite. Need some zonite. I need some zonite. It'd be really cool if you could mine these like multiple times. Oh my god, ow, I just stretched so bad. Ugh. I'm curious. Oh, this is not. This is bad. This is gonna be bad. I already know. The guy popped up at 9:30 last night making off on a game I've listened to offer up. I asked what time today he'd like to meet up. He tried to get me to meet him last night. When I said I had just put my kid to bed, he wanted to come to my house and got offended when I said I don't like people coming to my house to buy stuff, especially at night. People are so weird. People are so weird. Like, you're like, no thanks, I'd rather you not, strange man. And he's like, how dare you? Oh. So I want to drive to some tiny town. I was like, no. Yeah, absolutely not. People are, like, strangely entitled when it comes to buying stuff. Like, these people really think that, like, I'm that hard up for 20 bucks or whatever that I'll drive and spend $10 in gas. Like, no. No. Oh, my food's here. My food's here, and I am getting tired. It's only 7? Oh my gosh, I need to at least make it another hour. That's embarrassing. I want to get over here, but I'm afraid that it's Lionel's, and I'm going to be stuck in there, and I don't want to be. Sounded like something in there. Which is weird because I haven't actually started any encounters yet. Oh, I don't need that on. I can put this on. Alright, real quick. I do want to go grab my food because if I don't go get my food, it'll get cold and then I won't eat it. Then he said, I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I said, have a nice trip. Yeah, honestly, that's what I'm saying. People are so weirdly entitled when it comes to stuff. Like, so this guy, okay, so I bought an Xbox. An Xbox One a couple years ago from like Target or Kohl's or whatever on Black Friday. And it came with a digital copy of Minecraft. But it wasn't pre-installed, it was a code, a code voucher. And I was like, at the time, I was like, I don't want to play Minecraft. So I put it online and I was like, it's a digital code. You know, whatever. Like, it is not a physical copy. You will not physically be getting a copy of this game. I need you to understand it is not a physical copy. You will not be getting a physical copy. It's just a code. Some guy was like, oh, I'll buy it, whatever. He wants me to drive so far the way. It's, yeah, same thing, like half an hour away. I'm like, nope, not happening. And then I get there and I hand him, he hands me the $20 and I hand him the card with the code written on it. And he's like, where's the game? And I was like, it's a game code. I wrote it at least 4 times in the listing. He's like, well, how am I supposed to do this? And I was like, it's, it is a game code. Your kid, I'm sure, your fucking 10-year-old kid, I'm sure, can figure out how to redeem this game code. All right, let me grab my food, guys. Honestly, DoorDash drivers piss me off. Like, they have two main objectives. Go and get the food. That's the first objective. And number two is bring me the food and deliver it according to my delivery instructions. That does not mean to put my bag of food on the ground in front of my door. It means follow the delivery instructions I said and put it on the bench next to my door so when I open my door, I don't hit the bag of fucking food. All right, so what do we think this is? This is definitely Lionel's. I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. Like, not even just like, ooh, I'm being timid and I don't know. Like, no, like, there's literally no way I can do this. I believe in you. I'm gonna try. Like, I'm gonna try. But I honestly, genuinely don't believe that I can do this. Okay. So, I think I'm gonna do the same tactic that I did for the King Gliok. And I think I would like to try to load up a bunch of shields with rockets. And then leave a couple of rockets down. I know, but that was a level, essentially a level 1. These are not level 1. Okay, what do I have? Let's prep for a second here. Ooh, I have 7 rockets. Yikes. Hmm. It's gonna be tough with 7. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Let's think for a second here. I have his shields. I have 3 Zonai shields. I have 4 Zonai shields. Who's in here? GG. Okay. So. Good thing it didn't let me do it. Okay. Okay. I am so scared right now, chat. How many arrows do I have? I have 10 arrows? I can't do it. No, like, literally. I can't do this with 10 arrows. Like, it's physically not possible with 10 arrows. Alright, hold on. What do we have for our... Damn. What about a jump pad? Yeah, what is this? Oh, solemn vow. Okay, let me think. Let me think. Alright, because technically... I can get rid of this one. It was as far into Hyrule Castle as I had explored. But, it's fine. Alright, so... we can come right back. Let's go get some stuff. Let's go get some arrows and stuff. I guess I can eat the rest of my sandwich. Making me hungry. It's falling apart, though. It's the one thing about Big Macs. They fall all over the place. This is because Broseph had one yesterday. And I was like, oh my god, a Big Mac looks so good. Okay, where's Beetle? Oh, he's chilling. Beetle's big chillin'.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Wow!
Sure. I will never deny Beetle a beetle. Oh, I have nothing. Okay, hold on. Let me sell. So, apparently, there's somebody in Goron that I should be selling my gems to in Goron City. Wait, why is a Thunder Gliak horn worth more than the other two? Yeah, why are they worth more? That's weird. I literally just dropped my controller. Okay, hold on. We're gonna take just a quick... We're gonna take a quick pit stop, because I don't think I've seen this woman in Goron City that you're supposed to sell gems to. I'm gonna guess she's gonna be a Gerudo like she was in Breath of the Wild. Ooh, look at that. What? Yes. Got it. Yeah, haha! Yeah, haha! Okay. Let's find the Gerudo lady that we can sell to. Oh, you. I bet it's you. You? Yes.
Sabak.
Ooh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Or I might. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Ah.
Topaz? Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Oh. Okay. Rubies? Oh. Okay, well. Oh, excuse me. It's there. Or an entire race of dummy mummies. Honestly, I think that like they've always just been so badass. Like they're just so cool. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Tallys with 8-packs and buns of steel, honestly. But even like when they were like 64-bit and they had huge triangular schnozzes. But they had tiggle bitties. A barbarackle barackle.
Ooh. Ah. Ah.
It's a secret hot spring. Interesting. Okay. No! Come here, you son of a... Okay, so That lady. Hmm. Wait a second. Wait a second. Shat. Do we have to take pictures of the stones? No. Okay. Okay, I need more arrows. Wait, let's go to the Rito. Get some arrows. I feel like their arrows are cheaper. Are they? Who has the cheapest arrows? In Breath of the Wild, it was at Terrytown. Let's go there. Breath of the Wild, it was Terrytown. Be cold. I'm not cold. Okay, wow. Going to Terrytown. I know we just came here, but we're going here. Let's see. I'm gonna be really, really sad when McDonald's finally gets rid of the strawberry and cream pies, because they're so much better than their apple pies. But they're limited time. But they've been limited time for like a couple months now. Ah, yeah. Hard same. Like the actual audacity. And I cried in the middle of the building. It doesn't even make sense because literally it was a chicken tender, which like is still on the menu. And like a tortilla, which is like stupid cheap. So stupid. It's like Taco Bell getting rid of the Mexican pizza. Like, why? Why do you hate fun? Explain to me why you hate fun right now.
Oh. Ah. Ah. Mm.
What do you want?
Ooh.
Use this one.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a weird like bike.
Ooh.
What? What is that? What is that? Look, are they gonna meet in the sky and kiss? I don't know what's going on here with this one here. Hi, DJ. How are you today?
Oh.
What about this one? Okay. Give him a picture of her son. Or Or Mattison. Where is it? There it is. Oh. I have literally no idea how this one's gonna turn out. Let's see. It's a poop! Quality poop all around. Oh no. Small headache? Oh, you know, you're like the second person to say that you've had a headache today. I'm sorry to hear that, DJ. Now I have to make 10 of them. Can I, like... Oh. I can't, like... do anything with them. And look, my Gliok falls over. Like, come on. I can't get him to stay. He just falls over all the time. I can't get him to stay. And now this little guy's falling off. Come on, little guy, you can stand up straight. There we go. There we go. It's my girlfriend. My goblins all end up with bum legs, really? Everything so far has stood up. And my Horriblin is standing up, okay. And this guy stands up somehow, even though he's not standing. It's honestly annoying that they don't stick to anything. Like, you can't, like, stick them to anything. What happens if I just... Oh. Hey, can you please put it back? But what if I don't want it anymore? Don't take it away. So hideous. It's hideous. What do you want? Hydrate. Once you've made enough. Oh, okay, good. Battle Talus. Okay. What the heck? I've seen Battle Taluses before, though.
Oh.
Dream home, please. $15? I don't have 15. Dang, I'm so poor. I'm so poor even in a made-up game. Alright, a Battle Talus. I'm running out of quests, guys. It's I have to get Dinral's claw. Alright, let's do. What time is it? 7:37. Alright, we'll probably go for another 20 or so minutes. Just because I'm actually getting tired, which is good. Tired is good, so I can get some sleep. Alright, I guess we'll go stop at just a couple more stables, get some more arrows, and then we'll try that, we'll try and absolutely fail that Coliseum. Absolutely going to fail. There's no way it's going to happen. Okay. Oh, that looked weird, but it was just the way that the shrine was underneath the head of the horse. I was like, what is that? Beetle, why? Why are you so far? Beetle, so far. I really wanted to go till like 10 today. So I might, if that's okay with everybody, I might turn my camera off. Just because I feel like I'm tired, but I only feel like I'm gonna be tired in my face. Like I feel like I'm gonna eventually be like just like making dumb face because like I'm okay, like I'm just tired. No problema, you guys are the best. We're just gonna vibe. I'm gonna turn this light off and we're just gonna chill. How's that sound? Does that sound good? You guys are the best. I appreciate that because some nights I just like, I want to hang out, but I don't want to like have to be like on, if that makes sense. Like performing, if that makes sense, you know? Like sometimes I just want to chill. And now I can make dumb face and not feel bad about it. Ooh. I haven't finished this one? There's no way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Don't worry, chill? Yeah, we're just gonna chill. We're gonna chill. Ooh. That right there is a pretty good base to start with. Like, I can't believe that snapped in so nicely. I just hit that dude. Okay. A slow poke. Okay. Actually, maybe. Let's see what it looks like. It's not terrible with the lights off. It's kind of just picking up a lot of my monitor light. But I still might make dumb face. Oh, no, go under. There we go. Nice. Alright, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Ah! Hmm?
Nice. DJ, nice catch. Nice catch. Ugh. Interesting seafood balls. I haven't used a single sleepover ticket, I think. Did I shop here yet? I think I did, because I think I chased a beetle. Are you a traveling merchant?
Oh.
Oh, it's you.
Oh. Oh.
I'll buy.
Oh.
Yes, give me some arrows, please. All of them. Alright, what do we have? This is gonna put us at 83.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, so... I guess we can go to Kakariko. And then and then I guess we'll just try it, because there's nothing else we could do other than just try. Other than just try it. Oh, God. Okay, I want to try it. See, I feel like it's not good. I need to have the light on. Whee! When you need a cam break? A Princess Zelda one, right? Princess Zelda. Hi, Trem. How are you? Welcome in. I know, I have to look for stuff. I gotta start looking around for some stuff for you guys as a reward. Your Zelda cosplay. Of course, Princess Pink. I want to go back and look. Like, just out of curiosity, I want to go back and look. I'll have to go on my Twitch tracker or something. I want to see how much Zelda I have played on my channel. It's not as much as Pokemon. I've played a crap ton of Pokemon. But I am curious how much Zelda I've played. Like, I'm really, really curious. Too much? No! There's no such thing! Come on. Why do you guys say that? Why do you say mean things? Oh, gosh. My foot, my ankle is just killing me. I need to go to the doctor. And I just don't want to. Because I don't want it to be serious. Da, 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 da. Hey, hey, hey. Give me these apples. Alright, clothing store. Why am I in here? To talk to her? Go, Sophie, go! I can't go. Hello? Where's your arrow selection, sir? Hello? Wait, there's not a second... Wait, there's not a second store in here? Wait, there's really not a second store in Kakariko? There's no way. Or I mean Hiteno. I meant to say Hiteno. It's annoying. Alright, where... Wait, where's this? Wait, why is that there? Did my thing get moved? Oh, I guess not. Okay, whatever. Alright, let's go. This is not gonna go well. This is very not gonna go well. Okay, so do I still have my temp parts? Yes. Alright, let's put my... This is not gonna go well. Got all these. Screw it, let's do 3 more. Let's do 3 more. Oh good, that's all I've got. Okay, that's all I've got, so let's go. Okay, so this, this, I've got that, I've got bows. God, I'm already, like, dreading. Like, this is not going to go well, I hope you all know. I'm not sure I have enough arrows, either. Okay, close that door. First one. Okay. Sure. His face. And his face. And his face! There it is. Okay, get down. No, not- why did it freeze me? That's stupid. Okay. Oof. That was just slow on my part there. Ooh, he turned! Come on. Oh, I need to get air. Come on. I don't want to waste so many of my rockets because I've only got so many. I don't understand the timing of that. I don't understand the timing of that charge. I hit you in the face! Oh my god. It's crazy how much easier the other one was the other day! What? Why is he just... I don't understand why he just did that backflip instead... I mean, why he just jumped instead of backflipping. Oh no. Oh no, I don't have anything to get rid of the gloom. That sucks. Shit! I always have gloom resist stuff. I didn't think to get more. I literally hit the button. Like, this is so Okay, he can jump, so he possesses the capability to jump. There's no way. There's absolutely zero way I can do this with 5 hearts. There's zero. Zero. Oh, are you? Wow, that's an insult. That's an insult. Woohoo! Not happening. 1 heart. Not happening. I'm reloading this save. This one? This one, I guess, yeah. Alright. Alright, I need to not get sloppy, is what the problem is. I should understand, like, the jumping. Like, I am jumping. I am jumping. I am hitting jump. And he is just not jumping. It's very frustrating. Alright, so right off the get, let's change this to... No, I guess we'll just keep this for now. Okay. Okay, I can beat a red Lionel. Let's go. Come on. I can beat a red Lionel. Can't believe I didn't get a fucking flurry rush on that, though. Ooh, what the fuck? Ooh. I'm too close. I'm way too close. Get out. What are you doing? What? I don't understand how I can... Oh my god. Okay, thanks, Tillen. There's no way. There's no way. I'm not good enough. There's no way. Ooh, not close enough. Fuck. I got cocky. I should have backed off. His fire does gloom? That's kind of bullshit, don't you think? Fuck, go for it. Ugh. Nope, nope, nope. Save my life! No, you didn't. You didn't save my life. You didn't save my life. Okay, well that saved my life. That's wonderful. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. Like, I don't have any... Shit. Fuck. Alright, can I get up, like, temporarily? Because I need to make some, like, anti-gloom shit. Like, bad. Okay. He's just gonna shoot at me, though. It's fine. Yep. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. Can you push buttons? Where are they? Where are they? Here they are. Took all the things! There's no way this bro's just gonna snipe me like this. Alright, alright, alright. What do I need? Anti-gloom. 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 No, that's glow. This, right? Yes. Can't cook while enemies are near. Come on. He's over there. I see him in the corner. Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. Okay. I love that the cooking pots, like, can stay balanced. It's so funny. Cook. Okay. Cook. Okay. Can't carry any more meals. There's no way. Eat. 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 Okay. 3 temp hearts. I have a bunch of stamina. Got a bunch of meals. Alright, so I can make 2 more. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, so let's eat a, like, do we have a defense attack up? Okay, we've got an attack up, and that means we can make 1 more. Okay. I wish cooking was so easy, honestly, right? Okay. Let's change our clothes again one more time. Okay, that's fine. Oh no, we want to put more rockets on these, that's right. Oop. Okay. Alright, that's literally all I've got. Alright. Okay, so we know we can do the red one. We've done the blue one once now. And I think it goes black and then silver, or maybe it goes straight into silver. I don't even know. Oh, I hate this so much. Okay. Ooh. How come it's not? I cannot even get a fucking shot off right now. Nope, this is no, nope, nope, nope. I don't know why I couldn't. I literally, he did not release 3 separate times. He just sat there like I. Okay, 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 okay. This is fine. This is fine. This is fucking fine. This is fine. I'm not losing my cool, I swear. No, it didn't restart Astro. I just am the worst. Why is it missing? Isn't it supposed to do crit? Like, legit, like, okay, stop it! Okay, fucking... I put the bow away 3 separate times! I put the bow away! I'm just gonna die, because this is stupid. No, it's gonna waste fairies. Hold on. God, I can't stand sometimes where, like, you can slam the same button so many times and it won't, like, it won't respond or whatever. And then the very next button you push, you're like, alright, fine, if that doesn't work, I'll do this. And then you die. You're like, okay, cool. That's fine too. Like, I hit the B button to put my bow away at least 4 fucking times. Like, I put my bow away at least 4 fucking times. How does that zap me so bad? That seems excessive. The turn at the last second makes me want to actually die. Like, it actually makes me want to die. Another instance where he just doesn't release on the bow. Oh, I can't see shit. I can't see. Yeah, see, he's gonna charge at me right now. Go. I don't really want to waste. Fucking turning the last second is killing me. It's such a waste of arrows, it's like driving me insane. Fuck. Get up, get up. Back up, back up. Fuck. Back up, back up! Oh my god, or don't back up, that's fine too. Ah, he's gonna shoot you in the face. I love when he doesn't do anything. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste. How do people fight these shit for fun? Like, this isn't fun. Like, this is not fucking fun. This is like... This is obnoxious, honestly. God. This is a fucking white over here. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I need this. Please pick this up. No. No, I need this. No. Oh my god, this is gonna get me killed. But I need this. No, oh, you picked it back up. Oh my god. I can't believe you picked it back up. Okay. Pick up this now? Okay. 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 Jesus Christ. Oh, I love how he also gets stuck on the chest there. What the hell? Run, Link, run, Link, run! Run like your life depends on it, shit. Oh, he doesn't stay down long. Okay, that sucks. Okay. 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 He does not stay down long. Keep him, keep him, keep him. Get on, get on. Okay. Get up, get up. Oh, okay. Oh my god, okay. Okay. Holy shit. He's very close to me right now. So close to me. Oh my god, it took away my... Oh no. He hit me and it took away... I only have one of these left. That sucks. Damn. Like, that really sucks for me. That's like my saving grace right there. Okay, there's, shit. Okay, shit. Shit. There's no way. There's literally no way this is gonna happen. Like, there's just... Can't see anything. I need an updraft is what the problem is. And I can't get one. Oh! Why are you set? Why did you stay still? Why did you stay still? What? I don't... Why did he just stay still there? Oh my... Nope, there's no fucking way. He is taking way too much health per shot. Oh, no, 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 no! I'm getting cocky, go for it. No, 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 move, 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 move. There's no way right now. There's gonna be another one that has a bunch of them in it. Fuck. Fuck. What is that? What is that? Wait, what is that? That's new. What is that? Oh my god, what is that? I don't know what to do right now. Shit. I can't do this. I have 3 hearts. Fuck. And there they go. There go my 3 hearts. I've never seen this before. Oh, fuck, fuck. Ugh. I need air. I need to get air. I need to, like, get up. No fucking way. No shot. No shot. There's no shot right now. I don't... How do I, like, how am I supposed to... there's no shot right now! Get out of here! This is so ridiculous. I can't move. I literally can't move. Fuck, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Nope. Tulun, you're the best boy in the entire world. I love you more than anything. Fucking shit, there's no way. Nope, no way, there's no way! My heart is pounding, I can't breathe right now. Like, literally. Nope, nope, please move. Nope, I'm down. How the fuck? There's no way I made it that far! People kill these things, like, for fucking fun. People kill these things, like, for fun. Like, this is not hard for them. Oh, that hurts. No, no. Oh my god, I'm here. Wait, why? No! What do I do? Fuck. Ugh. Ugh. Nope, fuck. This is so ridiculous at this point. Can you get on? Oh my god. toasters blow up on me? Like, what? Pa, stop! I literally can't move. Like, it's so ridiculous. I literally can't move. Come on, let me hit you in the face, please. Ah! This is all I've got left. This is all I've got left. Okay, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Nope. Please. God, on everything that's fucking holy in this world. Okay, hold on. I have an idea. Ugh. Ugh. I just need to stun him. I just need to stun him. Please, please, please. Tulin, come on. Tulin, buddy, it'd be really awesome right now if you could, like, do your thing. No, no, he's gonna hit me. He's gonna get me right now. Shit. Oh, fuck. Ugh. Move, 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 get up. Come on, right in the face, please. Back. Nope. Oh my god, don't touch the thing! No, come on! Oh, he's like literally dragging my ragdoll right now. Fuck, fuck. Fuck. Ah! There's no way that I can get so fucking close every time. There's no fucking way. I'm so pissed. Like, how do I get... Every fucking time I get right there. Every fucking time. Like, what even is this dude? I can't even move. I literally can't even move. Okay, can we talk... Hold on. We have to have a conversation about Zelda. We have to have a conversation about Zelda. The fact that he just goes, with his hand when his bow is broken, instead of, like, there being a pop-up that's like, you don't have a bow equipped, or anything of the fucking sort. He just goes, oh? So you're in the middle of a fight, and you're just, like, trying to use your bow, and you fucking can't. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead. I can't move. I literally... Like, I haven't been able to move since I got in here. Yep. Just do it, please. I can't move anyway, so... It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. The hero of time ragdolls like he's fucking made of fucking molasses. It's the dumbest shit ever. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Okay, see? There you go. Oh, what do I do? Oh, do I have a bow? I don't know. Fucking dumbass Link. That's awesome. I love being pinned against the wall. That's amazing. Go away. Three bombs to his face, and sure, of course he can hit me. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be able to hit me when he has 3 bombs blowing up in his face? Okay. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to I can't dodge if I can't move. Holy shit. I can't dodge if I can't move. Oh my god. Okay. Ah! Please move, Link. Please move, Link. Please move, Link. My god. Fuck. 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 Get up. Fuck. 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 He's got the bow now. Oh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Honestly, if I could have gotten some air on that and been able to pull out the paraglider, it wouldn't have been so bad. I get to the same... Like, he's got so little every time. There's... I cannot. I cannot do this. I can't do this. Oh. I don't know. It's this charge that wastes the fairy raid at the beginning every fucking time. And I don't know how to counter it. No, I know how to do it. I just don't have the skill to do it. I can't fight these guys. I know what to do. I just cannot do. Like, I don't possess the capability to do. What I need is I need to be able to get some air, and I need to get up so I can shoot at him, is what the problem is. such a waste. It's such a waste of fairies. It pisses me off. It actually makes me so angry. It's such a waste of fairies. I can't see shit. I can't see shit. Yep. Nice. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's amazing. Thank you so fucking much for that. God, that triple slam that took 2 fucking fairies makes me want to actually cry. Yeah, the strat is be good. And I'm not good. And I'm fucking stuck in this endless loop. I need to get the first shot off, but I can't do that because the way that my bow breaks the first shot, and that's what screws me each time. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you for turning around. Fuck you for turning around twice. No, I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. Nope. This is a waste of a run. I can't. If I leave, I have to start all over, DJ. That means I'll have to go through the whole thing and use up all of my supplies to get here again. Like, this is not a save point where it's, like, ready to go. Fucking don't you dare. Nope, it's a waste, it's a waste. Move, 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 move. Right off the get! Like, right off the bat, he gets me with that one. Like... Okay, so... Oh, he's down. He runs at me as soon as the battle starts because it's already a battle. Unfortunately, it's already a battle. Oh my god, he does not let you stay on for very long at all. Fuck, fuck. See, I can't run and get enough space and see where the fuck he is at the same time. God fucking fuck! I'm so fucking pissed. Fuck off right now. Hi, Steph. We are not having a good time right now. He's not gonna let me on. He's not gonna let me on. No, I could if I had rockets left, but I used them all already. Yep, I knew it. I knew he was right behind me. Nope. Fuck, fuck. I can't move. I can't move. Get up, Link. Get up. Nope, 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 nope. Not gonna make it. Why did you do? No, 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 no. Wait, where's the cannons I equipped? Fucking God, fuck. That was even worse. That was worse. That was even worse. I don't like that. Oh my God. I don't know what to do. There's zero options here. Zero options. Fucking shit. I have no way to get up. Like, I just need a gust to be able to get up. It's just iced tea. There's no fucking, there's no fucking way. This is it. This is the rest of, this is the rest of Zelda. I will never progress past this. It will not happen. I just want everyone to know that I will never progress past this. This is the rest of Zelda for the rest of forever. And he's gonna immediately get me, and he's gonna immediately knock my health back to nothing. Yep, see? Right off the get-go. Right off the bat, he takes an entire fucking health. Another fairy. Oh, another fucking fairy. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid at this point. I can't even move. I can leave the Colosseum, but if I leave the Colosseum, I have to go through all of it again, and it will just put me right back to where I'm at the final boss with zero supplies. Like, no matter what happens, I'm still going to be here with zero supplies. Like, I can't do this. I do not possess the ability to do this. Like, I don't think you guys understand. It's not a humble thing. It's a... I can't cook. I can't cook any more food. No, I'm not duping anything, Astro. If I can't do this the way it's meant to be done, I can't do this. I can't, like... I'm trying to keep my cool because it's just a game, and I'm sure every single person in chat right now is like, oh my God, it's fine. It's not fucking fine. Because I do not possess the ability to do this, and I don't have any other options here. Either give up and start over. I don't understand why I can't leave. Because if I leave, Steph, I have to start over. This is the final boss. If I leave, I have to start all the way over. And I will still end up where I'm at. Because I have to fight 5 other ones. This Colosseum! This is the final boss of this Colosseum. If I leave to get anything else, I have to do everything over again. I have to fight all of the waves of Lynels all over again. And it's like spawning. It's literally spawning, like, immediately running to me. So I don't even have time to do anything. I can't do anything. I can't react. I can't do anything. The second I walk in, he attacks me. Yes, every single one of these doors opens and there have been Lynels in them. And I have, like, I've done this a dozen times already, and I just got to the final boss, and I have nothing left. If I do it again, and I start over, I'm just gonna be here again. Like, I'm just gonna be in the same situation. I don't have, like, there's not enough stuff for me to do. Like, there's, like, I don't have enough shields. I'm stuck. Yes. Either start over. No. No. I'm not, no, listen. Listen. If I leave and I start over again, I will end up exactly where I'm at now. I'm going to have no arrows left. I'm going to have no meals left. I'm going to have no nothing left because I've already gotten to this point before. Like, I can't do this. I don't possess the skills to do it. I need to be able to parry, and I need to be able to do flurry rushes, and I can't do it. I don't possess the ability to do it. I can't do it. No, that's nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with that. Because it's in the gloom, and it's just eating my hearts away. I literally, can't, it literally can't be, like, I cannot do it. If I leave now, I am never coming back to this, and I am never 100%ing this game. I'm just saying right now. If I leave right now, I am never coming back to this, and I'm never finishing this. Ever. Ever. Because these, like, I couldn't fight these in the last game. These are harder than all of the bosses in the entire game combined, and this is a coliseum of them with an armored one at the end. With an armored one at the end. No, I'm not coming back because I'm fucking pissed that this is even a fucking thing. Like, you already made them harder than anything else in the whole game, and now we're gonna put armor on them. No, I really wish you guys would understand that there is no like a pro. Like, no. There isn't like a pro anything. Right, okay. You guys can give me hints and clues and backseat and all you want. I don't have time to sit there and chase Yunobo around to get him and turn around and make sure that I'm facing the Lionel to shoot at him. I don't have time to grab Riju for her to charge up while this guy's running at my fucking face. I don't have time. The only person who does anything of anything is Tulun occasionally. Like, there's no time. As soon as I walk in, as soon as I walk in, he's attacking me. Like, there's no fucking time. I just, like, it's, oh god, when they put you in a fucking save point where it's just like, oh, you can't move. You're in a save point and you cannot move. Alright, we're gonna raid Inu. They raid us all the time, and I never get to return the favor. So go say hello. And I will see you when I see you. Oh yeah, you probably need this, don't you?